Alright. Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 1357, Doubleshot number 1251. I got two trades from Miles Morales. First up, it's Miles Morales, Volume 1. Bring on the bad guys. Yep. And as you see with the cover, it's Miles Morales taking on Miles Morales again. Now, this is 616 Miles Morales, who's evil. Except he's back here after Spider-Man 2, now calling himself Ultimate and wearing one of the Giant Man costumes. And he's brought along Norman Osborn, a.k.a. the Green Goblin. You're probably thinking, wait, Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, like, that's Norman Osborn? Well, it's the ultimate version of the character. Yep, if you're curious though, how the heck is this possible? Quite simple, really. He takes a drug and transforms him into this damn thing. Does he go back to being, well, Norman Osborn here? Not really, no. But yeah, that's the premise of these issues. Now, of course, well, Miles reunites with his Uncle Aaron, and he runs into Bombshell, a girl who was his girlfriend in the Bendis run, which apparently this writer completely forgot about that. You figure I just didn't care, just ignored that. Had to be friends again, despite the fact they were supposed to be dating, because she had a thing for him. Nope. Oh yeah, this is just after he quit back in Champions number 4, the previous one for the series, not the current one. Which, by the way, that was initially announced as an ongoing series, the current one. And then, probably because the book was selling so well, they made it ongoing. Yep, and they take on some machines, and, well, then, of course, Jefferson and Roe announced that Roe was pregnant with her second child. Yep. Miles is so happy. And then something weird happens. He fights this guy in a blue suit, gets knocked out, and wakes up in a spider suit being experimented on. And this lasts for about 2 issues. Yep. Him being experimented on constantly. And be scared out of his wits. Yeah, he tries to escape multiple times. And this lasts throughout the entire issue 7. Goes to the entirety of issue 8 and goes basically into issue number 9. So Aaron goes to Brooklyn to talk to a woman named Chris to give him a new outfit. I'll show you the outfit in just a minute. It's a quite interesting way outfit puts on. He puts on the Prowler costume. Yep. You're probably thinking, wait, that looks a lot like Hobby Brown's costume. Well, it's a similar design, though. The thing is, it's based upon the version... Oh, yeah, basically, he also mentioned the reason he's able to live in a place the way he does is that he sold off his iron suit that he wore when he last appeared in that Sinister Six storyline, which was the finale for Bendis. Remember, the book came out 3 years ago. So he sold it off to Tony Stark, and just got out of stuff. He basically paid him a boatload of money. So, he's living legit. Yep, he pretty much is retired being a criminal. Oh, by the way, he also at one point was dating Bombshell's mom. And that apparently is not here. It's almost like anything that is associated with Bombshell or a lot of stuff associated with Bendis' run is completely ignored here. Yep. So, they do eventually beat a bunch of people, and they do find Miles, finally. After they've been experimenting on for days. And, well, then of course they get him into the car, and of course they drive off. 10, which is the last issue here. This is when Norman Osborn finally shows up here. Oh yeah, by the way, who those people are who experiment them? Don't really know. They're experimenting for some reason. And looks like that we have a brief cameo by the Ultimates. Yeah, apparently this whole experimentation thing was apparently reawakening his 1610 memories, which, that's interesting. I'm not really sure why. Oh yeah, then of course, his birthday is like 1. You think I turned 1 year old? Like, no, it's supposed to be like, about 16, 17. Miles, it's like, the artist remember, yeah, Miles looked like, which I think is great. They apparently made Miles very tall and muscular since the end of the Bendis run. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, apparently he's recovering perfectly fine after being tortured for a couple issues. Genki's back after not doing much of anything. Yeah, apparently that the writer of the series just didn't really care what Bendis established. Like Genki being his best friend, being there a lot of the time. Nope. So yeah, Peter's showing up, celebrating Miles' birthday, and then he has a fight with Ultimate Green Goblin. And they fight for this issue, and then Ultimatum shows up. Yes, Ultimatum. You're probably thinking, wait, that looks like one of the Giant Man suits. And it is. Because 616 Miles stole it. Yep, and they celebrate his birthday, and he reunites with Wilson Fisk. Basically referencing Spider-Man 2, which is also done by Bendis. Yep, they talk for a while. Oh yeah, and it confirms, yep, it's 616 Miles. Yep. Though with S.H.I.E.L.D., despite the fact the suit is basically the Giant Man suit, I think that the suit must belong to Red Guardian, whatever. And then pretty much have a backstory explaining the secret origin of Starling, where she basically is, well, where she misses her father, though she meets her grandfather, the Vulture, which a lot of people who are fans of Spider-Man, not really big fans of this guy because he's an old man who basically commits crimes. And then Starling basically becomes his, like, partner in the way, basically gives her a suit, but she becomes a hero instead of becoming a villain, which I'm sure he may be happy with that. And then, of course, comes the Free Comic Day issue. It looks like, oh, look, we have Miles and Peter about to fight over pizza. And, of course, they beat up pizza, which I think is so funny. Yep. And then, of course, you have Shocker beating up a clinic. And he's like, Spider-Man, make that plot, Chacho. He's like, Spider-Man's like, damn it. And then he fights both of them and gets a crap beat out of both. And, of course, the cop's like, huh? Okay. I thought this was so funny. This whole story of these two interacting with each other is so hilarious. Yep. Absolute fantastic issue. Fantastic trade. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Damn good. Next up is Miles Morales Spider-Man. Yeah, they only put Spider-Man on the cover of these trades because the first one didn't for some reason. Yeah, I'm not really sure what. Well, yeah, for some reason the first one didn't have Miles Morales. This one does. This one's called Family Business, and this one basically is, I think it's like 11 to 15. Yep, 11-15 for this one. Yep. Well, this one you have Miles beating up a bunch of criminals. Looks like they're having stolen some Starkware, and of course, well, then he talks to his girlfriend Barbara. I still think it was kind of dumb, basically, where like the writer of this book ignored like a lot of the stuff Bendis did, like he established toward the end of this run, like putting Miles in relationship with Bombshell, his uncle dating his mother, dating Bombshell's mom, and Barbara here technically not being his girlfriend anymore because she was dating Genki at the end of the run. And here it's like, ignore that for some reason. It's like, and then he gets back to school after being gone for like several days. He's put on academic probation. Yeah, I've had that before myself due to failing grades. Because of his absence, basically, and his parents know the reason why he was basically absent from school because he was held hostage for a week. And of course, beats up more guys. And this lasts for a while. Yep. And of course, then he comes back, and of course, he fights his uncle who's trying to kill a crime boss. This happens in issue 12. And he fights him, and of course, apparently he botched a job. Apparently was hired to kill this crime boss. And then Mountain Man Marco shows up. Yes, Mountain Man Marco. Which I believe he fought Miles in the Bendis run. Which is interesting. Yep. So basically, they fight, and of course, Matt Marco loses. But apparently because he botched the job on purpose, he pretty much basically does a bounty on his head. So he basically walks all the way from Manhattan to Brooklyn on foot. And spends the next couple issues basically doing that. First running to the Rhino, which basically Rhino and Tom work together back in the first trade. And then they run into Scarpina, the Trapster, and White Rabbit of the Syndicate. Not the Sinister Syndicate, the Syndicate. This is something that Nick Spencer established in issue 25 of his run for Amazing Spider-Man. Yep, these three again. Which, okay, interesting. Scorpina, in case you know who this woman is, she's the daughter of one of the heads of AIM. Yeah. White Rabbit is an old villain who debuted back in Marvel Team Up. Yeah, she made debut toward the very end of the book. Female Trapster, I'm not sure when she showed up, because my first I remember showing up was basically back in Amazing Spider-Man 25. Well, the current line is 25. Fight them, and then of course, well, then fight Frost Pharaoh again, which that was hilarious. And then of course, well, Miles talking to Sterling for a bit, and then she says, "Stay cute, always, anytime, stay cute, Spider-Man." Aaron's like, "Stay cute." Who was that young lady? That's another long story. I thought that was so hilarious because it's very heavily hinted that Sterling has got a thing for Miles. Yep. And of course, they come Frost Pharaoh. And then, of course, Aaron shows up finally to basically deal with the bounty when it says so they can't stop bounty. So, Aaron and Miles finally show up at the hospital where Rio's giving birth. And he's like, "Is that Aaron out there? Don't you dare go anywhere when I meet your niece." And then they meet her. Yep. A girl. Yep. And her name is Billy Marina Morales. Adorable little girl. And of course, Miles just adores her. She's amazing, Mom. Yeah, that's what he says. And of course, well, so basically, when I change her diapers, like, "Oh, that's not ready for that yet," which I think is so hilarious. And then he fights more Stark, these Stark goons. And look like he's about to be late. And of course, Barbara's like, he's not a liar. It sounds a liar. It's like, he's here. It's like, he's gonna be late, but he's here. And of course, he basically apologizes to Genki, which that's nice. And then he chats with this. Yeah, basically about scholarship, but the journal, he basically runs and searches for it. Oh yeah, he does, and he runs Norman Osborn again. They fight. It turns out the person who's got his missing journal is the vice principal. So apparently, it's implied he finds out that Miles is Spider-Man. So Green Goblin attacks the school. I'm like, wait, this sounds unfamiliar, very familiar. Ultimate Norman Osborn attacks Spider-Man's school. Why does that sound so very familiar? Oh yeah, Bendis did this also in the Ultimate Spider-Man run. Yep. He wrecks the school. Though, basically, Miles battles him. And of course, he gets away because basically he's like, okay, you know what? You're right, sir. Absolutely, I'm out. Yep. And of course, well, the Vice President gets Miles back his journal. Doesn't think he would be up active probation or not, so it's like fixing it up. So, there it's up, and the next is next. Ugh. Outlawed. Yep, that's next. I'm like, really? Yes, really. Outlawed is next. By far, one of the most hated storylines in recent memory. Nobody cares about Outlawed. By far, one of the stupidest ideas Marvel's ever come up with in the last 5 years. Yes, it is so stupid. That here's the thing. You had 2 ongoing series have a tie into it, and a revived, at first, mini-series, then ongoing series, another limited series, basically, which was revived from an old series, and was supposed to be another limited series, The New Warriors. Which, when a lot of people saw the new members join the group, people were like, this is stupid. Nobody's going to buy this book at all. So I was like, oh yeah, this book has been canceled due to the pandemic. Despite the fact the other reason is they canceled because no one was going to buy it. Because they also figured out that it was stupid. And here's the thing. With the Outlawed stuff. Now, the Outlawed stuff in the Miles book didn't last very long. It only lasted for a few issues, and that was it. I think it started with issue 16. I think it wrapped up around issue 19, 20-ish. It didn't last very long. Because currently right now we're in King and Black stuff, which is much better than Outlawed. Yep. Though in the case of his other titles, like the Miss Marvel title, that ended. Yeah, he ended his run on that book for some strange reason. Yeah, the writer of this book also writes Miss Marvel. And the other books are just okay. Though I appreciate, though, in book, they're basically trying to get rid of the Camilla's Law, because I think some writers have realized, though, yeah, Camilla's Law is stupid, and so is Cradle. We're going to get rid of it because it's stupid and pointless. Yep. And that be a discussion for another video when that trade comes out. I'm going to bash the hell out of that story because of how atrocious it is. Like, the premise of this thing sounds very familiar. Like, okay, a group of teenage superheroes cause some controversy at some place. So much so that a bullcrap politician passes a law, a very stupid law, banning them. I'm like, that sounds so familiar. Yes, it sounds exactly like Robin War and Civil War 1. Yep. Yeah. But that's basically where it is when it comes to it. But I'll discuss them in another video. Okay, so that's a particular review. Stay tuned for my 3 other reviews, which will be Fire Force, Yoshima of the Princess, and Case Closed. They'll be up soon. Okay, just a video. Bye.